Yo, what's going on, guys? It's been a minute since I've uploaded a video. A lot has happened since the last video. So this video basically is just going to be about getting your P's in Australia. Basically, I'm just going to kind of run through what I experienced here in Wollongong. Basically, what I had to do to get my P's, how the course went, and yeah. So basically the day goes for 8 hours. There'll be 6 people in a group. You arrive at 8 a.m. and basically the instructor will just go through, get your license, fill out a bit of paperwork. You sit in the class. If you're using your own bike, they'll go out, have a look at the bike, check, make sure everything's fine. So basically all you can have is a stock standard bike, no mods on it at all, or you'll have to use their bike. So I didn't risk it. I just went with their bike because obviously mine's got the exhaust, mine's got the mirrors, it's got a couple other mods. So I hired their bike. Once you hire the bike, basically you go outside. He'll give you the keys to the bike. You go outside. He'll then take you down to where the course is and get you just to do real slow riding up and down, and then you do like a figure 8 and an emergency braking. He just wants to make sure that you are capable of riding before he takes you out on the street. Then you go back into the classroom. He will talk about safe riding, buffering, all that kind of stuff. You do that for about half an hour. Then he'll explain the ride where you're going, which was kind of weird because I figured there'd be 2 instructors, like one at the front and one at the back, but there wasn't. It was just him, and he was at the front first, then he went 2 back, and then he went 2 back again, and then he went right at the back. And then the person at the front kind of had to know where he was going, basically. And he basically just, it's not an assessment, he just watches how you ride and basically gives you tips. So there was like 3 stopping points. So every time we stopped, he'd like say, oh, why weren't you buffering here? Like, why weren't you on the left? Why weren't you on the right? You're too close to the rider in front of you. So you don't actually get assessed on that. You only get assessed on your actual P's test. So then once that happened, we went back into the classroom, had another little chat, and then we had like a 5-minute break while he went down and set up the course. He went down, set the course up. Then we basically went down, practiced for like an hour, practiced the course. The only thing different about the course was all the scenarios were all smaller, so the gap to do your U-turn was smaller, the going through the cones was smaller, and then the swerving past an obstacle was smaller. And basically that allowed you to, once you had the do the actual test, it was actually much bigger, so it was actually easier. And we basically practiced that for, I'd say, a good hour and a half. And then we went back up the top, and because there was only 5 in our class, he basically asked us if we wanted to have another break or if we just wanted to go straight out and go for the test. So basically we went straight out, went for the test, and I ended up being second. There was a guy in front of me. He went first. He got 100%. I went second. I got 100% as well. the guy after us got 100%, and then the last guy, he was struggling a lot in the practice test with his U-turn and the cone weave, and he basically at the end in his U-turn he accidentally stalled. He stalled, dropped the bike but didn't hit the ground and put a foot down. So I think he lost 7 out of the 8 points, or he lost 8 out of the 9 points. So you've got 9 points you can play with, but the 9 points only work for the U-turn, the U-turn, the cone weave, and the left-hand turn. The last two, the emergency stop and the swerve the obstacle, you can't have any points there because of they require you to be able to do that no matter what in like the first go. So if you stuff up there, you basically fail your test. So yeah, he stuffed up in the U-turn, but he ended up getting his license still because he had 1 point left. So that was really good. So everyone passed, and which was great. The only problem I had was I rolled I had like tore ligaments in my left ankle. So I basically was like having trouble changing gears and all that, and I called up a couple of weeks beforehand to let them know. Oh no, sorry, not a couple of weeks, like 3 days before, because I did it the 4 days before, and they basically said they couldn't. You can't cancel that close. You have to give them, I think it's 2 weeks or a week notice. So yeah, that's basically the whole day. That's it. So it's an 8-hour day. You go in, get on their bike, do a couple of stuff just to let them know that you can actually ride. Then you go out for your ride, come back, practice the actual P's, and then do the P's. The reason I keep going down a gear is I just changed my my shifter to GP shift. Like today's the first time riding, so that's why that's like the second time I've done it. So it's going to take a little bit to get used to, but that's just basically, that's around, that's the test in Unanderra in Wollongong basically, and you just ride around the area there. You do a little bit of highway riding, and that's basically it. The test itself is not that hard. The hardest thing I had trouble with was the left-hand turn, because I wasn't really I was taking the turn without like the friction point with the clutch and on the rear brake. So I would suggest going out and practicing a little bit. I did it a week before and just did a little bit of practicing, just the U-turns and the cone weave, and I think it helped heaps because the instructor said that my cone weaves were really good and my U-turn was good. So I would definitely recommend practicing, and you will be sweet. I think if you have a good understanding of riding the bike, you should be sweet. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm just going to ride around a little bit, try and get some photos, and I've got a couple more videos coming out. I've got a video on the mods on the bike, so I'll do that soon. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the video, and I appreciate you guys watching. Leave a like, comment and subscribe, and if you've got any questions, leave them down in the description. Peace.